Welcome to This Week in Taiwan. I'm Iris Xu. Every Saturday, we break down the biggest stories making headlines across the country. From politics and policy to culture and the unexpected. Whether you are tuning in from Taipei or halfway around the world, we've got you covered with what you need to know to stay in the loop. Taiwan is home to 23 million people, and you might think what happens on this small island doesn't affect you. But in reality, it is quite the contrary. From geopolitics to global supply chains, Taiwan is more connected to your life than you might expect. So let's get into this week's news and see just how interconnected we really are. Vice Premier Li-chiun is currently in the United States for a new round of high-stakes tariffs negotiations. Economic Minister J.W. Guo said this marked the fourth round of tariff talks between Taiwan and the United States, and just comes after days before a reciprocal tariff grace period is set to expire on August 1st. He emphasized the goal of securing a deal more favorable than those reached by other U.S. trade partners such as Japan and South Korea. One key advantage Guo noted is TSMC's massive $165 billion investment in the United States, bargaining power that other countries simply don't have. The United States is currently holding similar negotiations with more than 180 countries, while Guo said American officials believe the grace period could be extended if talks drag on. He also warned that there are still many uncertainties. Meanwhile, DPP lawmaker Zhou Zhiwei pushed back against online rumors suggesting Taiwan has already been notified of tariff rates as high as 25 to 32%, and that the government is withholding the information ahead of upcoming recall votes. Zhou said that doesn't make sense given that Cheng is still in the United States for talks. Minister Guo agreed, calling the claims baseless and saying he has no knowledge of their origin. With Taiwan's first round of recall votes set for July 26, United Microelectronics Corporation founder Robert Cao and 31 civic groups held a press conference on Sunday, calling on voters to oust lawmakers they describe as pro-China. Cao, who also founded the anti-communist Taiwan Protection Alliance, framed the recall effort as a battle between what he called light and darkness. He urged centrist, educated, and economically minded voters to stand up for what he called Taiwan's procedural justice. Flanked by military veterans, legal scholars, and cultural figures, Cao accused lawmakers from the KMT and the Taiwan People's Party of using authoritarian tactics to undermine democracy in the legislature. He warned that democracy cannot function without procedural fairness.
So today, don't be misled by slogans like democracy, checks and balances, or fighting dictatorship. Without procedural justice, democracy is meaningless. I want to make an appeal to everybody to look past these superficial words and see clearly how the KMT is working hand in hand with the CCP to undermine our country.
Cao also pushed back against what he described as recent intimidation from anti-recall groups. He emphasized that recall is a constitutional right and a civic duty, and called on citizens to turn out on July 26 to defend Taiwan's future at the ballot box. President Li-chiun met with members of the European Parliament's Special Committee on the European Democracy Shield, or EUDS, on Tuesday. He said Taiwan is eager to share its experience and deepen cooperation with the European Union to strengthen societal resilience. The visiting EUDS delegation said they are in Taiwan to gain first-hand insight into the country's whole-of-society approach to countering hybrid threats, foreign interference, and disinformation. President Lai told the group that Taiwan faces constant attacks from fake news and so-called gray zone tactics, covert operations that blur the line between peace and conflict. In response, he established the Whole-of-Society Resilience Committee to ensure both government and civil society can continue operating during national emergencies or natural disasters.
Taiwan stands at the forefront of the global democratic frontline. We are determined to safeguard democracy, peace, and prosperity around the world. We also hope to share our experiences with Europe and deepen our cooperation in cybersecurity, media literacy, and societal resilience.
The EUDS delegation is led by French lawmaker Nathalie Loiseau and includes representatives from Czechia, Poland, Belgium, and Germany. Loiseau, the chair of the European Parliament's Special Committee on the European Democracy Shield, says Europe is eager to exchange knowledge and strategies with Taiwan on countering hybrid threats and gray zone warfare. She said her delegation has met with the National Fire Agency, the Legislature, the National Security Council, civil society representatives, and President Li-chiun. She noted that authoritarian regimes often spend years preparing tactics of coercion, intimidation, and information manipulation against democracies. She said the committee is deeply impressed by Taiwan's whole of society approach to defending democracy and deterring hostile actions. Loiseau added that the delegation is also in Taiwan to share Europe's experiences in regulating digital services, particularly efforts aimed at preserving media independence, transparency, and information integrity.
So we have all differences, but we have values in common. We strongly believe in democracy. We strongly believe in partnership with democratic allies, and we are friends of Taiwan. 我们是台湾的朋友.
Ambassador Li-chiun, who currently serves as the representative to the European Union in Belgium, told RTI that the delegation's visit to Taiwan reflects a lot of new dimensions of future EU-Taiwan cooperation.
So I think the visit itself reflects a lot of new dimensions of future EU-Taiwan cooperation, and also it also reflects the fact that the importance of Taiwan, or at least the benefits of working closer with Taiwan, is now highly appreciated in EU. So I guess this won't be the last delegation in the next 5 years. During this mandate, we're going to see a growing number of visitors from Europe. European Parliament start with, but definitely beyond that area.
Just days before the recall vote targeting 24 KMT lawmakers, the KMT is intensifying its campaign to mobilize supporters and push back against what it calls politically driven attacks. On Wednesday, the party released a new video urging voters to reject the recalls in the July 26 vote. The video accused the ruling Democratic Progressive Party of fear-mongering, labeling any cross-strait exchange as part of China's United Front strategy, and painting KMT lawmakers as pro-China. It also highlights that some top DPP officials visited China during their time as mayors. The KMT is calling on voters to say no to the recalls and to stand up against what it describes as DPP's double standards and authoritarianism. Meanwhile, online recall materials have surfaced featuring images of former Presidents Chiang Kai-shek and Chiang Jing-kuo calling for the removal of KMT lawmakers in the name of anti-communism. KMT legislator Wang Yumin denounced the materials as fake and misleading, calling them a form of fraud. She's urging the public to report and take down the posts. As the campaign enters its final stretch, KMT leaders are taking to the streets. In Taipei, Mayor Jiang Wan-an campaigned alongside city councilors during the Tuesday morning commute. In Taichung, Mayor Lu Xiuyan has taken a 3-day leave to support 3 KMT lawmakers facing recall. Taiwanese athletes have won multiple medals at the Rhine-Ruhr 2025 Summer Universiade in Germany. But their victories have also triggered a wave of provocation from Chinese nationals, drawing strong condemnation from Taipei. President Li-chiun on Thursday denounced the incidents as unsportsmanlike and expressed regrets on behalf of Taiwanese government. According to Sports Administration Director General Zheng Shizhong, tensions escalated after Taiwan's men's table tennis team defeated China to win gold. The Chinese team filed a protest over chants of "Go Taiwan" from the crowd, claiming they violated event rules. They also pressured the mayor's office in Essen to take down a Republic of China flag displayed outside the Taiwanese delegation's physical therapy clinic. Additional incidents followed. Chinese officials were filmed harassing Taiwanese athletes and attempting to snatch the congratulatory message issued by Taiwanese authorities from the hands of Taiwanese athletes during media interviews following the Taekwondo competition. Lawmakers across party lines in Taiwan's legislature unanimously condemned the provocation, denouncing China's attempt to interfere with international sporting events. DPP Secretary General Xia Wu remarked that such behavior is not new and reflects Beijing's ongoing gray zone tactics, extending even into the athletic arena.
Taiwanese athletes competing on the front lines have repeatedly been subjected to unfair and overbearing treatment by China, whose bullying of Taiwan is deliberate and ongoing. Even international sporting events like the Universiade are not spared. During the table tennis matches, they wouldn't allow Go Taiwan cheers, and at the badminton medal ceremony, they even seized a congratulatory call meant for Taiwanese athletes.
The KMT and TPP also issued statements urging China to immediately halt such actions to preserve neutrality and safeguard the dignity and safety of athletes on the international stage. The legislature has once again blocked all 7 nominees for the Constitutional Court, including the proposed president and vice president of the judiciary. The vote took place on Friday with none of the nominees receiving the required majority of 57 votes. This marks the second time the legislature has rejected President Li-chiun's nominations. After the first batch of nominees was voted down late last year, the presidential office submitted a new list in March. The new slate includes Chief Prosecutor Cai Qiumin as Judicial Yuan president, Supreme Court Judge Su Su as vice president, along with nominees Xiao Wenshen, Zheng Chun, Huilin, Li-ying, Chen Ciyang, and Zhen Zhenrong. On Friday, legislators held a roll call vote. The ruling DPP expressed support for most of the nominees, but internal disagreements led to a partial 5+2 voting strategy, meaning party lawmakers were allowed to vote at their own discretion on 2 candidates, Chen Ciyang and Zhen Zhenrong. Meanwhile, the opposition KMT and TPP caucuses opposed the entire list, saying the nominees did not meet the required standards of suitability. Voting concluded around 11 a.m. and was followed immediately by ballot counting. 5 of the nominees, including Cai and Su, received 51 votes in favor and 59 against. Short of the simple majority needed, Chen Ciyang and Zhen Zhenrong received only 26 votes each, with over 80 against and 0 invalid ballots. Legislative Speaker Han Kuo-yu announced the results, confirming that none of the 7 nominees passed the threshold and are therefore officially rejected. Thank you for listening to This Week in Taiwan. My name is Iris Xu. This episode is produced by Radio Taiwan International.